Hey Joseph, how's it going again? Here we are with doing another speech on how to drive on the right side of the road. First, we all need to know the rules and regulations on when it just comes to driving in general, not just in the United States but also across the world, even the nation. When entering a car, always adjust your seat to your convenience for if it's not done already. Make sure your rear view mirrors are in a reasonable position. Although most times people don't even bother to do this. For instance, I do have a habit of doing this, just hopping in the car and going, which I am trying to turn it around and do the opposite. This is very important because you don't want to be the one that hops on the express or a highway and it causes a sudden accident because your rear view mirror is not in the proper position of your eyesight. Before entering a vehicle, make sure you always use your proper gear before starting the car. This can damage the car depending on what kind of car you have. For automatic, make sure you're in park depending on the car, and also when you have an automatic, a manual stick shift car, that can also vary depending on the gears you in also. Another thing is don't pull off or don't leave unless you check your brake lights, tail lights, headlights, and etc. To me, I find that kind of difficult because I think you need two people to check the tail lights because one guy push the brake and one can look at it. But that's besides the point. Just make sure your lights are working so you can avoid the tickets. Lastly, I think my personal favorite is always wearing a seatbelt. You have to always wear a seatbelt, passenger, driver, backseat passenger, everyone in the car. This is a great example because recently I just got a ticket, $135 fine, and I was in the passenger seat, not driving seat. We was on the expressway, the cop pulled us over. You know, usually everyone thinks if you get pulled over on the expressway, you always speeding, but in this sense, the officer came onto the passenger side and gave me the ticket. Now, I know it can be difficult driving on the right side of the road coming from a wholly different place, for example Australia, but I believe if you adapt, and for example you're adapting because you come to the United States already, but if you adapt to the learning styles of the driving, it's exactly the same but opposite. The passenger seat becomes the driver's seat and vice versa. The signs here facing the direction you are facing when driving. All the signs on the road are on the right facing you. Our roundabouts are always going counterclockwise, not clockwise, as you doing on the left, driving on the left side of the road. Traffic remains on the right when driving slow. Everyone consider themselves to be a perfect driver, but we all know that's not true. But now I do believe I'm a good and better driver as the years progresses, because the reason I say this is because my past experience, which I learned from. For instance, I was in an accident about 3 years ago, which my car ran to the passenger side of my car. When these kind of things happen, everyone has a different outlook or becomes more cautious, like which I did, cautious, observant, more alert when driving. Questionably, don't just jump into a car before learning the basics or having any practice or experience knowing how to drive a car. Make sure you always have enough practice and understand the rules and regulations, and make sure you always, number one rule, wear a seatbelt. Thank you.